Hi, so I just wanted to make a video talking about golden moments in response to Shaycarl's video. And recently I had a very sort of interesting experience. I'd run a 10k race. This was to raise money for Ronald McDonald House charities on the Sunshine Coast. And well, I just sort of thought, get my lazy backside off my chair and to do something. So I enrolled in it and I ran it. And funny enough, I ran it in a costume, in a Pikachu costume, even better. And I thought it'd just be funny. But during this race, as you do, you sort of expect that you're going to do really well, and I kept pushing myself, and I probably pushed myself too far. But I kept running, and I sort of had to slow down and walk sometimes, but I still finished the race, which is what I wanted to do. But before 2Ks before the last bit of the race, I was just so tired, I was so exhausted, and I started walking. And there was a guy that was behind me, and his name was Matt, and I'll put a picture up in a sec, but there was an interesting story behind him. He had actually lost his family in a fire on the Sunshine Coast, and there's a big, it was big news here because he'd lost his wife and his children in this house fire, and he survived it. And I didn't actually know who he was until after he encouraged me in this race. Like, he was sort of like, come on, keep up with us, don't fall back, you've been with us the entire race, you can do it. And I was just sort of like, oh, yeah, okay, rightio. So I was running next to him and I finished the last 2Ks with him. And he was a really, really nice guy. But yeah, he finished the race, and only when we would cross the finishing line and the news cameras actually flocked to his side and they were all over him, and I was just like, who was that? Why are they filming him? Like, I just couldn't figure out who it was. And probably about just after the race and stuff, after I met up with a couple of people, they were just sort of like, oh, that's Matt, yeah, he's the one that, had the house fire and lost all his family. And I was just sort of like, oh, that was him? But yeah, no, I finished the race, and, I finished it because, I got that little bit of extra encouragement, and I pushed myself that little bit further. But, yeah, and I finished the race, and I got a wonderful little badge, my little medal, 1 hour 13 and 24 seconds. So, I thought that was pretty cool. And it was the Sunshine Coast Marathon, even though I only did the 10K. But there you go, had fun.